Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Bare Minerals Stick Foundation. I actually thought before I decided I was going to review this foundation that this was a new foundation, but it is not. I looked it up because I'm thinking, oh, it's a new foundation. And literally there's like thousands of reviews on the internet of this foundation. I'm like, whoa, this is definitely not new. So this is a clean water-based liquid foundation in a stick, and it has SPF 25. So I have high hopes that I'm actually going to really like this foundation, because stick foundations aren't really my favorite, because a lot of them are more of a matte finish and it gives you like this, I don't know, like pasty dry finish, and it's not that flattering on the skin, a lot of them, and then some of them are really nice, and that's typically the ones that are more of like a dewy hydrating finish. So because of that, kind of already have hopes for this, and it is a water-based stick foundation, so I'm thinking that's going to make it like even better. Like, it's already hydrating, and then on top of that it's a water-based. I actually got this in the mail from Bare Minerals. I'm gonna swatch probably just two of them on my skin, because I think the first one is gonna match me the most. So this is what the foundation looks like. This is the lightest one that they sent me. So this is the first one. Oh yeah, that's definitely too light, but it goes on so smooth. It looks a bit darker in the tube, but it's way too light, and that is Spice 08. This is the last one. Yeah, I definitely won't be able to wear this one, so the second one is gonna have to work. So this one is Terra 8.5. Looks like that. I think this will be a better match. Oh yeah, that's much better. But it does seem like it's a bit more neutral or cool tone, which may make me look a little gray. I'm gonna prime half my skin with like my go-to primer right now, which is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, just because I kind of feel like it'll work with this foundation. So I'm just applying a little bit to this side of my face. I had the weirdest dream last night. This little boy was trying to fight me, and we was like squaring up. So weird, so weird. I just thought about that. I don't know why I dreamed that. Yeah, I don't know if this really matches me. I think I'm gonna be able to make it work though, but I don't think it 100% matches me. So to blend it in, I'm just using a Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. It blends in okay, and there is a jump from the shades that they actually sent. The middle shade that I used on my skin is 8.5, and then the next shade that they sent right after that is 10.5. So I'm sure there's something in between there that will probably match me exactly. But this one isn't bad of a match, especially because I didn't use that much of the foundation. It doesn't seem to be like super full coverage for what I applied to my skin. So I'm going to apply just a little bit more, build it up on this side. It's very cooling when you apply the stick to the skin, but it kind of just goes away once you blend it in. It doesn't feel like that cooling feel. It kind of looks like on the skin that it has sunscreen in it, because it's giving me like that gray bounce off, which is fine, especially because I'm gonna add a lot on top, meaning like bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that. I just hope that it doesn't have flashback, because it does kind of look like it looks like I'm applying sunscreen to my face. It's probably, of course, not coming across on camera, which it doesn't even have that high of sunscreen in it, and it's looking like that. But it also may have to do with the fact that it being like a lighter shade already, and then having sunscreen probably does not work well in a sense of that. I really love the finish of it. I wish it was like my perfect skin tone, because I think this would be a beautiful foundation. I think from the primed and unprimed side, it doesn't really look that much different. Both sides are pretty dewy. Just the reason why I like the Milk Makeup Primer is because it increases the longevity of the foundation and helps it stick to the skin. So for concealer, I'm using the Laura Geller Spackle Concealer in the shade Deep Tan. So for powder, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Banana Powder. This foundation definitely needs to be set. If you have oily skin, definitely don't leave the house without using setting powder, because it will look like just super oily, super dewy. There's that. Okay, so now I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup, and I will BRB. Be right back. So it is 11:10 a.m. and I'm like super dewy, so hopefully this lasts all day. Like if you just take away the highlights, I'm like still dewy in areas that I did set, like on my forehead and everywhere. So it's probably not going to be a long lasting foundation if you have oily skin, but I'm definitely going to leave it on all day long. And yeah, I'm kind of late, so I'm supposed to be getting lunch my mother and she just called me, so I will see you guys in a few hours. Hey guys, so it is, I didn't even check the time before I started. Okay, hold on. So it is 2:35 p.m. So it's been about 3 hours. I'm pretty sure I put this on at 11:20. I don't quite remember, but I know it was in the 11 mark, maybe 11:15. I don't know. But it's been about 3 hours of me wearing this foundation. It transfers like pretty heavily. If you have a hard time like remembering you have on makeup and you end up hugging people and all of that kind of stuff, then you will experience transfer, because even like if I tap a little bit, there's foundation on my nail. You definitely cannot see that because it's so bright, but there is foundation on my nail. A lot of foundations do transfer, but this one is pretty excessive and it feels sticky. Normally I can touch my skin and it might transfer a little bit, but it'll be fine. This one is like pretty sticky, so it makes you not want to touch it like whatsoever. It's definitely not long wearing, and if you have oily skin, you probably will not like this foundation. I probably won't get a whole lot of wear out of this foundation because of how sticky and dewy it is, but I'm definitely going to keep it on for a few more hours. It's only been 3 hours and it hasn't gotten worse as far as the oiliness. Like it pretty much looks the same amount of dewiness, but the fact that I have to be extremely careful with this foundation on is kind of like turning me off a little bit. Like I want to go ahead and take off my makeup is what I kind of feel like, but it's not heavy. It's a pretty lightweight formula. It's just I'm having to be way too careful. So yeah, and I'm wearing white, so that's another thing. I gotta make sure that if I touch my face, I can't touch my shirt in any way, which is, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it is at the same time. I'm heading out to go to Chick-fil-A to get some food, and I'm at this stage where I truly want to take off my makeup. It is 5:47 p.m. This is what we're looking like. I realized I haven't given you guys like a close-up yet. This is what we're looking like. I would say this foundation isn't super flattering, just being honest. Whether it's on the primed side or the non-primed side, there's pretty much nothing in the foundation from appearance. I don't know if technically, but it doesn't seem as though there's anything in the foundation that provides like extra smoothness. Like I feel like you can see my mustache way more than other foundations that are more full coverage, as well as my smile lines are pretty creased. Pretty much this foundation review and my previous one, I didn't really like the foundation that well, and normally I do like foundations, so yeah, so that's something. But I really think that if you have dry skin, you will absolutely love this foundation because it is pretty hydrating and it's dewy. It isn't matte at all. I'm gonna keep it on for a few more hours. We'll be back later and I'll do the flash test. So hey guys, it is 7:17 p.m. so I've had the foundation on for I guess about 8 hours now. I forgot to mention that I did change my lipstick because the gloss that I was wearing earlier was like one of those plumping lip glosses and my eyes were starting to water. Like it was that intense. I had to let it go. So that's why I changed it, because this was the only one that was in my purse. So yeah, so I've worn this foundation for about 8 hours at this point. I did do the flashback test and I'll have the photos on screen. I tested it in both dark lighting as well as regular lighting, and there is flashback. It's way more flashback in a regular lit room than it is in a dark room, which is kind of like you would expect it to be opposite. But yeah, so it does have flashback. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I love BareMinerals as a brand, but I didn't like this foundation. I really just honestly think it didn't work well with my skin type as well as the way that I like to wear my foundation. I'm thinking if you like to go for more of a lighter coverage and if you have dry skin, it would be beautiful on you. But because I like to have full coverage which I may have applied a lot of the foundation. It didn't feel like or appear that I apply a lot of the foundation. I typically stripe on a lot when I'm dealing with a stick foundation, so I didn't feel like that I used a lot, but I'm wondering if I used a lot for the formula of the foundation. So my oiliness did kind of come out with the dewiness of the foundation. I'm super oily, super dewy, especially next to my nose and on my forehead. I'm everywhere pretty much, and it's super transferable, and it has flashback. I mean, I wouldn't wear this foundation again. I feel bad saying that because I really do love BareMinerals products, but this one didn't work for me. If you have tried out this foundation, definitely let me know what experience you have had with this foundation. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel as well as check out my previous video, and I promise I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.